Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to a quick update on crypto markets from Run Profits Trading. We're going to be changing the branding on the channel over the next couple of weeks to a new brand, a new name, which is going to be called Get Into Crypto. So stay tuned for updates and look out for that over the next few weeks. But yeah, what can we say? A crazy, crazy couple of weeks in the crypto markets, especially with Bitcoin. Bitcoin flying up to the 19,000 level. When we last looked at it, it was flirting with the 16,000 level, and I thought maybe we could push up a little bit more and maybe start to establish a bit of a range between sorts of 17 and a half K down to about 14. But it has surprised, and it's surprised to the upside, which is great to see. And yeah, you can see where we are right now, around 18,500. Let's just zoom in a little bit and see what's happened today, because we saw this rejection. We took out yesterday's low, we came down, but there's so much demand in the market right now. Bitcoin has been bid straight back up, and yeah, what dump? I mean, it's just so strong, and it does feel increasingly likely like we will test 20,000 very, very soon. Whether it's just a quick tag of this level, whether we go through and just keep going, or whether we sort of go through, we trap a few long orders and we see a move then sort of back down. Who knows? But just looking at where we are right now, I mean, like we keep on saying, Bitcoin in a bull market can have these 20%, 25, 30% drops, and it's always good to be prepared for any scenario and outcome. I mean, if Bitcoin goes up, well, you want to have exposure. If Bitcoin goes sideways, you want to have a plan to maybe look at getting into a few different altcoins. And if Bitcoin does drop, then you want to make sure you're prepared to obviously take advantage of that dip. So, I mean, me personally, this is not financial advice, but I've sold very, very tiny amount of Bitcoin on the way up. We're talking sort of 2-3%, so nothing huge. But it's just knowing that I have a little bit of ammo there just in case we do come down to take advantage of that. But that doesn't mean it's what I think is most likely. It's just saying that there is a probability that we do come back down, and it's being able to take advantage of that if it happens. So I think the key is to be prepared for any scenario, because nobody knows what's going to happen on the short term. All we can say is, based on the probabilities, this is more likely or this is more unlikely. So I do think a push up towards 20,000 is on the cards. I think that is one of the more likely scenarios, along with Bitcoin just starting to consolidate and go sideways. If we did come down, let's say 20%, that takes us just under 15k. A move back down of 30% takes us back down to around 13k, and there's a fair bit of support down here between sort of 14 and 13k. Obviously, we've got if we go to the weekly chart, we've obviously got these highs from 2019 as well, and quite a lot of people would have started to sell around 14, probably would have sold around 16, not thinking we would go so high. So I think there'll still be capital on the side that want to enter this market on any dips, provided we stay above the 20-week MA, which is this red moving average here. So Bitcoin's looking great. The other markets we looked at last time that we said were looking interesting was Ethereum, and obviously when we looked at this, Ethereum was around this level, and around sort of 415, 420, and we said we want to see Ethereum break through this level, hold this level, and then consolidate up against its high to then be able to get a breakout, and that's exactly what we've seen. So Ethereum's looking great. That's certainly the one that I've been interested in adding to over the last week or two, and the thing that we've seen which has really helped Ethereum out is this move. So obviously we moved down against Bitcoin. We came into a big area of support here, which was previous resistance, and we also had this trend line support as well. And I mean, the reaction we've seen here is just beautiful. I mean, if you've been buying Ethereum, this is exactly the move you wanted to see, the reaction you wanted to see down at this level here. And yeah, it's just looking, it's looking really good. It's looking really good. We've also got the Tom DeMark 9 as well, which called the top, and now it looks to have called the bottom. Obviously, we'll be looking to now get some follow through over the next few weeks, and for Ethereum to get back up to around this 0.04 level against Bitcoin. And just to come up with a bit of a forecast for where I think Ethereum is going, if we look at the weekly here, then we can see I've got a few targets. Let's try and sort this chart out. Yeah, so a few targets. I personally think we can get up to around this 800 level. That's what I'm targeting for this move, and a move up to around 800 from here is around about 40%. Okay, so I think that Ethereum can do 40% against the US dollar. Just looking at our Bitcoin chart, so Ethereum Bitcoin, if we move back up to the highs here, we're looking at about 30%. So of course the two figures are not too far away. If that was to coincide with, you know, Bitcoin potentially getting up to 20k, then all of those targets would sort of work out there or thereabouts. And I just clicked onto the Bitcoin dominance here as well. So this is a really important chart for us to quickly take a look at. Again, we'll see this weekly Tom DeMark 9. They seem to be calling this market just beautifully at the moment, in terms of the crypto, a number of crypto charts, and we've seen this big rejection. I think this is a error and data error on TradingView. So I don't really think we saw this come this low a few days ago. But if we just look where we are now, I said in the last video, if we break this level, this 64.5 level, then altcoins could get a sustained move. So this is looking good for alts. We also looked at Link. Link has now got above this 13.5 level, and it's starting to push up. So Link is looking very good. The Bitcoin pair it's still not looking great. We'd want to see this 8.5s flip to support, so the breakthrough the resistance and then flip as support and then push up, to really say that Link has turned around. But it's looking promising. It's looking promising with the US dollar break at least. And the other market I wanted to take a quick look at is Polkadot. So it's looking similar to Link actually on a US dollar chart. We got above this sort of 4.8, call it $5 level. We've come back. We've had a bit of a wick down today, but buying's come back into the market, and it looks like we're going to be up to challenging our yearly highs in terms of dollar value. And in terms of the Bitcoin charts, still a bit of work to do, but you know, we've pulled back nicely, and I think there's every chance that we can get back up to our highs against Bitcoin over the next few months, especially if Ethereum starts to run. If Link starts to run, then Polkadot should start to follow as well. And you're talking about a 90% move here in you know, Satoshi value for DOT against Bitcoin. So yeah, I mean, it's all there, guys. It's all starting to come together, and these markets are really starting to look very strong. And now we're starting to see Ethereum take off, and I think this will be a precursor for a wider scale altcoin move. So yeah, in terms of obviously a price perspective, chart perspective, things are looking very good. Just in terms of also the fundamentals for Bitcoin, like, I mean, let's remember what Bitcoin is. I mean, Bitcoin arguably was designed for this, you know, for these market conditions. It has a limited supply. It has a it's deflationary in nature because the supply is always getting cut, and yet you have these central banks printing, you know, millions and not even millions, trillions in terms of stimulus into global economies, and of course all of that money needs a home. You've got Bitcoin. Bitcoin can't be inflated in the same way, and that money is going to find its way into Bitcoin. And for this reason, it is the perfect inflation hedge. And it's just such an exciting time. I think looking at the grand scheme of things, this last year has been sort of very promising. We've seen this, obviously, this big turnaround. It feels like we've kind of gone from being all bearish and kind of almost still bearish with what happened in March to now really starting to turn around. And yeah, that obviously I'm a believer that we are in this 4-year cycle. So if we look at like the last halving in Bitcoin, then we see that this took place back in 2016, and we all saw what happened after the last halving in 2016. We just went literally off to the moon. So we're starting to see the same thing here happen again. History is repeating itself, and if you say that we're in 2016 now, why would you want to be getting out of Bitcoin? So end of 2016, why would you want to be getting out of Bitcoin here? Why would you want to be selling your cryptocurrency around here when Bitcoin was around 800, sort of $700-800, and then it went off to 20k? So where are we going to be in a year's time? You don't want to be looking back at this and saying, oh, I sold it at 18, or I sold it at 20, and then we went up to 120, or we went up to 150. So I'm not saying that's definitely going to happen. No, none of us know with any certainty where Bitcoin's going to go. But if you believe in the 4-year cycle, and I certainly do, which is obviously linked to these supply shocks in the market as a result of the halving event, then this is certainly the time that you don't want to be selling. You want to be buying. You want to be holding. And this is the smart money getting into the markets, just like this was the smart money. So, this FOMO, this bubble, not even close yet, and this is more likely to occur next year when Bitcoin's at its new all-time highs, if it gets there, and I think we're all hoping that it does. So I'll leave it there. I've yeah, sort of gone off a little bit there, but yeah, we'll leave it there and catch you on the next one.